Shimon, the sober kosher malchus. Rabbi Shimon is a Tana, and he holds you don't need to eat kazayas. He says if you eat a kosher, you get malchus. That's his shita. So we don't ask like it. But Lokin, so these Achrani Macharish, just like Rabbi Shimon holds a kosher was lamakis, Lokin Gamkein al Shalok Derech Achila. He also holds that you'll get malchus and Shalok Derech Achila. To kosher have a Shalok Derech Achila. So literally it seems to be saying if you're eating such a little amount, it's Shalok Derech, which is hard to understand. So the Svar they say is, and I saw this on the bottom, but this is Pasha. The Svar they say that his Svar is that by eating something you're machshavit. It's a Svar of achshavit. So they say just like on a kosher, it's actually when you eat it, Shalok Derech Achila, even though it's Shalok Derech, but there's a Svar of achshavit by eating it, so it heals of achshavit, so you can get malchus with the Svar of achshavit. So whatever the Svar is, they say is according to Rabbi Shimon, if you only get malchus on a kosher, you get malchus on Shalok Derech Achila also.
That's a Gemara.
No, that's what they're saying. The Gemara says kosher l'malchus.
Right.
These are chronim.
Oh, so these are chronim are saying this. Okay, that's what
the Marshala, Marival are being mechadish, that just like if Shimon holds a kosher l'malchus, he would also hold that you get malchus on Shalok Derech Achila. They're comparing Shalok Derech Achila to a kosher. The Mishnah Melech Amar Tom al Divrahim says, how could they hold that? However, Rabbi Hochman Shiur later Chatzi Shir is also been a Torah, right? So the Raisa Mikol Makom Rabbi Hochman holds Shekosher Lo Kederech Achila So Einu Aser Min Torah L'Shidus Harbe Rishonim. So you see, it doesn't go together. You could be chayiv and you could be aser Shalok Chatzi Shir and still Shalok Derech with Shalok Derech, and it's okay. By Mishnah Malach Perakemi, so yeah, Torah Tiritz. How could that be? According to these Achronim. So the Bishlam Machatzi Shir the Rabbi Hochman had time rules because it's Chazilas Tarufei. Him came B'Shalok Derech Achilas or L'Shayach. There's a reason Chatzi Shir is Asher Chazilas Tarufei, which doesn't apply to Shalok Derech. Akain ain't Asher in a Torah class, so therefore it's possible Rabbi Hochman would hold that even though Chatzi Shir is Asher, but not Shalok Derech, not Shalok Derech. Aval Reb Shimon the Kol Shul L'Makas, he holds kosher is asher be'etzem, and you get malchus on a kosher, u'gzeres ha'kasahu, im kain shalok derech achila nami, so he could compare shalok derech achila to a kosher. The whole comparison is not so possible, because in those achronim, the Hosey does compare it. I just told you they say asher. Actually, whatever the svar is, that but he compares shalok derech, they're saying that's only compared to shalok derech to Chatzi Shir, if the Etzem Chatzi Shir is Aser. But if Chatzi Shir is only Aser, it's Chazi L'Strufi, then you can't compare it because Shalok Derech is not Chazi L'Strufi. Imkei Nira La Rambam says the Khan He Gzeres HaKasav, because we're going back to Chametz, that by, even though Chatzi Shir is Aser Torah, there's a special pasuk by Chametz that it's Aser, Lo Yei Achel, the Chatzi Shir Aser Torah. And there the Achronim say that what in the pasuk for it's anyway Aser Kol Torah Kula, because they say it's asr even if it's not chazi l'tzterufei. After lo shaya chazi l'tzterufei, k'moshe b'yaron v'el, like the last minute of Pesach, like that. Im kain shaloch derech achilaso, according to this, nami ika iser Torah. So he says shaloch derech would be, in other words, he's saying if chatzi, these achronim are saying chatzi shir is different from shaloch derech because according to us, because chatzi shir is only else chazi l'tzterufei. But he's saying if we hold that by chametz it's aser chatzi shir even if it's not chazi l'tzterufei, then it seems to be according to these achronim you can compare shaloch derech to chatzi shir. So im kain shaloch derech achilas nami ika iser Torah by chametz because it's no different than chatzi shir, which is an iser Torah without being chazi l'tzterufei from the slow yei achel. But you won't get malchus because even though according to Shimon kosher gets malchus, Shalok Derech will get malchus, but we pass Chatzi Shir by chametz, even though it says lo yeyochel, but you don't get malchus on it according to the Rama. In kain Shalok Derech ilas nami ika iser Torah ach ein loken k'mod ein loken al Chatzi Shir af gabi chametz k'mabur b'Rambam kan, that even though there's a pasuk lo yeyochel, it's only a drushim, you don't get malchus on it. Aval iser Torah hu k'mo Chatzi Shir, but he says Shalok Derech would be the same level as Chatzi Shir. Im kain, he says, im irib daber mar, so he made the chametz Shalok Derech because he put in something mar that is not edible. Oh chametz shenifsel manchil l'sadam, that's Shalok Derech. I'll call upon him Isser Torah Yesh, according to this, that even though Shloka Derech, wherever Chatzi Shir is Usser, the Shloka Derech is also Usser. Become Makom, Lo Aminim B'Shas, why doesn't the word say Kol Modim B'Chametz, that Shloka Derech is Usser? Because there the word goes a case like Kol Modim, that Shloka Derech, there's cases like Karen that you get Malkus. In Shloka Derech by Chametz, he says you won't get Malkus, given the low lucky, according to him. Right? But Ein Sarach Lomer, you don't have to come on to the Makor Chaim. He's the one that said that it's also Shloka Derech al Tashpisu, right? So that's why they went, because there's no Malkus by this, it's only an Esed. Ein Sarach Lomer, come on Makor Chaim, Machmas Esed Tashpisu. Haim Ashka Sabnu Le'el. Rak, he says you can learn the Gemara, it means it's Asr Min Torah by Chametz, but without Malkus. And that's why I didn't say a Kol Modim, because there's no Malkus, but it is Asr Min Torah. Not because of the essay, because of this drasha of Lo Yachal or Asr Chatzi Shir, whenever, according to these Achronim, wherever Chatzi Shir is Asr, Shloka Derech is also Asr.
Shloka Derech is the two cases he examined when there's actually a shift in the Chefsa. Like he said, because it's Davar Mar or Nifsam Achilles Chadus, that's a shift, which I can understand that from Achshavei. Because Achshavei says that the chefsa, the fact that you're reading it is mafsha the chefsa into being oichel, and that's why but the other forms, like other forms of lo kederach chila, that's not because of the chefsa, because of the like there'll be another case of that of lo kederach chila that like because you're not really eating it. Like I'm thinking of like you're swallowing it, right? The whole thing. If you're swallowing it without, especially if you're swallowing it in a, there's something that if you swallow it in something that's protecting it, then
there's no nose girl. That's something else. That's not kosher there. That's not because it's not a chila, because it's not keder.
But because it's not. It's not a.
It's not because it's local there. It's because it's not an achila. There's no one else. I don't know what case it could be, but I think what you're saying would be tiny to this whole sushto. If you hold a whole shot in Reb Shimon, his chatzi shir, you get malchus because of achshavei. So then you could say shlo kederech achila, you get malchus because of achshavei.
Right.
So you could comparison. You could say actually in Reb Shimon, but according to the Rambam, the Yedershing Chatzi Shir out the pasuk of Lo Yachal. You're not saying out Achshavei.
Because of the pasuk.
It's a pasuk of Lo Yachal, even Chatzi Shir. You're not saying the story of Achshavei. So then, who says you would compare Shlo Kederach to? If you learn the Achronim, stop making comparisons. Shlo Kederach is always considered Chatzi Shir and Achinami. But if you say over there the story of Shimon is Achshavei, then the Torah by Chametz you wouldn't be able to compare the two, and you wouldn't say that since there's a Lo Yachal. Right. But Mitchas Chinuch hasn't been saying it because of Lashva. He just said they're comparing it. His lesson the whole time was they consider Shlo Kederach like the same Madrega of Chatzi Shir. So he's saying if by Chametz there's a possible Yachov Chatzi Shir, and Shlo Kederach was on the same Madrega, it would be Esther. But according to the other Chroim, I don't think it'd make the Sishto. But Ayin Mishnah Mala Parakim Yisari Torah Ayin Sham Rambam. Mechametz is some kind of ointment that has chametz in it. You should learn that sigga. I guess that goes into the whole Shlo Kederach. Another Ayin Bachronim, but Sarach Chibur Miyuchad. He's not explaining what he's really talking about. Sarach Chibur Miyuchad the Beir HaNyanim. Again, he's going to write a whole chibur on Shlo Kederach. Ayin Psachim Sigga the Chodesh Yutats. There are questions of Shlo Kederach, Upnei Yeshua, Vachronim, Yishar HaMelech, Tosef Sachim, Leni Mashachelko, Bein Avodah Zarah, Bein Chametz, and I don't know what he's referring to. But, okay. But anyway, I think he's finished now. Now, let's see. L'fi Mashachasabdu L'mayla Le'min Beer, because remember what he said by beer was that Le'yo Achol, speaking by eating, but he says, according to Beis Hill, there was a hekesh between beer by Yirah and eating, because that's why he said Hazeb Hazeb Bekazayas. Remember, Beis Shammai he said it wasn't Bekazayas, but Beis Hill made a hekesh from beer to that. So he says, so therefore he tied it. If you make the hekesh of Shish like Chatzi Shir, so for the Chatzi Shir, it would be by Yirah.
Right.
ולפי שכסד למעלה in beer to chatzi shir zaser, וכן שאין לעניין שלו כדרך אכילה, so machmas lo ye'achel. It says if you put these two things together, there's a value, and there's also shloka derech achila because lo ye'achel. In kain of chatzi shir, in kain be'erev pesach. So now he wants to say you have to go through all this money because we paskin. There's an issur of eating the raisa on Pesach, and there's also an issur a lav on erev Pesach, like Rabbi Yehuda. So he says in kain be'erev pesach lo shayach zeh. Why? Because the lo ye'achel is talking on Pesach itself. The other pasuk is stam achila. The erev Pesach lo tzib lo ye'achel. Right? In kain, he's saying shalokas. So then there wouldn't be an issur chatzi shir according to the Rambam, and there wouldn't be an issur of shloka derech achila also according to this on erev Pesach. After chatzos till the night. Im kain shaloka derech achila havelei kashari surim kasover and she'eno aser min Torah. There's no reason to make a difference. There's no special pasuk. V'chein ein over bar yeroah b'chatzi shir l'hasover and derech Pesach over malchus. So somebody told b'chal bar yeroah starts on the night of Pesach. But he says even if there's some Rashis that say it seems to be that bar yeroah starts after chatzos. But he said, but there's certainly not going to be a hekesh of beer because there's no isser of lo ye'achel, so there's not going to be an issur chatzi shir either from the hekesh of beer to akila. There ain't kind issur Torah klal. There's no issur at all erev Pesach and shaloka derech. V'chein he says, and the same thing when im achal soor chatzi shir. He says, keeping the chilko pot because he timed it just like by Gidon Nasher, not by Gidon, Avery Menachayim, where I said it was a chiddush, so you have to eat it with vasachas, so you can't eat it, it's not mitzdarif. So he's saying that he said the same thing by Lebanon, that it's also shloka derech, so it's a chiddush, and it's not mitzdarif, but the echivas pras. If you're machalaka and different gulps and everything else, you're not going to be, it has to be one maisa achila. He says, im kain, ein iser, Hitam chazi let's-terufe, because it's not chazi let's-terufe. And there's a exercise kasa bechamas, lo ye'achel gai al kodem Pesach, lo ye'achel is only going on actual time of Pesach. V'chein das ha-mishlam alef, le'inyin chatzi shir erev Pesach, l'svara the hoysel l'shas kosher. In other words, where it says, there's some Rishonim say, some Achronim say, why does the Rambam have to have a pasuk bechamas? What happened to the general rule of chatzi shir hesem min Torah? So some say the whole pasuk of chatzi shir is written by Chalev, and Chalev never had a shas kosher, but chametz did. So you will not be able to learn out chametz from Chalev. Because according to that, there is no din of chatzi shir by erev Pesach for sure, because you don't have the svara to learn that from Chalev, and to say lo ye'achol you can't apply it because lo ye'achol is only on Pesach. V'chein l'svaraseinu Hadinim Gamkein Mishtanim Erev Pesach Pesach Mishpar. He says our svara also that you makash beer to achila. That's why chatzi shir is aser by Bal Yeroah, but you don't have that because achila gufi you don't have the pasuk erev Pesach. So therefore he's saying it should come out that erev Pesach should be different than Pesach according to all these svaras. In other words, even though like Rabbi Yehuda we paskin erev Pesach, there's a lav. But there won't be chatzi shir by Sor because it's not chazi l'srufi, or by Yeroah because you're not going to there's no hekesh beer to chametz because there's no layach. Excuse me. Ach the emes he says yesh lamer you could argue kisfaras atosis. I think Tosus says he brought this Tosus. The Tosus said even if the pasuk for Anoah is only on Pesach. But once on Pesach it's Asur B'Anoah, we say erev Pesach it's Asur B'Anoah also. We're not machalik between the comments on erev Pesach, the comments on Pesach. In other words, even if the source of the pasuk of Isra Noah is from the Yachel, it'll still be Asur erev Pesach, where it doesn't say in language of Lo Yachel. He says according to Tosu, what I just said in the above is not true. Im kein linyan zenami kol hadinim istapim Lo Yachel. According to the Tosos, all the limudim that you learn out of Lo Yachel, which is only written on Pesach, but you do compare, you say it's not as far as Mechalatin Chametz on Pesach and Chametz on Erev Pesach. If you hold Chametz on Erev Pesach is also allowed, even though it doesn't say the language Lo Yachel. The Lo Nechlek when Tosos says you're not Mechalik between Erev Pesach and Pesach. But Tzarachin al Hamaral Bach, who Mishlam al Shakasu, Vipshitas, the Chatzi Shir Mutter, for What?
I think it's skipped the line here.
That's what I said. In the name of God, is stopping Loyach or Koygan according to that Tosas as well.
Okay, so I messed up. Okay.
Okay, don't machalik b'neim, because according to that Tosas, you're not machalik.
Right.
He says Sarchin al the Marabach and the Mishnah Malach who are machalik because of B'shitas the Chatzi Shir Mutalus Varazu, because it's only Osra on Pesach that's Lo Yachal, and Lo Yachal is only Erev Pesach and not Erev Pesach. But he says, you see, there's a Tosas that says even things that you learn out of Lo Yachal you apply to Erev Pesach, because for it's Dinim and Chometz, so they don't hold it. He said they forgot about that Tosas. Him Kain had Tosas Batzim Sasri Aha Dadi. I don't know why Tosas themselves are so, sir. That's because they're going in Tosas. I don't know what. I mean, this Tosas says you do compare them. So why is Tosas Sasri Dadi? I don't know. Unless they're saying a pshat and another Tosas, and according to them, that'll end up as steer in Tosas. I don't know. Vinay Lavza. Chutz masha over halav by Bayra by Matzeh over Gamkein al essay the Tashbisu. They're being about the essay of Tashbisu, or they're over the essay of Tashbisu. Motion is Barnul Le'el. V'naf Kamina it may be Ola al essay. Korban Ola, if you're over an essay, you're not mechuyev to bring an Ola, but an Ola is mechaper on an essay. V'naf masha kasavnu Le'el. That's Hashem. Ach im ein lo Pam achas kazayas Einu over rak al ha lav. What does that mean? If you have he's saying you say it's mistarif by Yerah, not for the essay. Why? The Lenino essay ain't a mistarif b'le'achilas pras Moshe Hochman Shiur mitzvahs tash piso. But as far as the lav, it is going, if you hold by, it is mistarif, not like the Shagasari, because he tied it is mistarif by Yerah. Right? He said it could be, it's like Me'ila, remember he said there was a surah that it's mistarif. So it could be he holds it by lavin, for some reason he's saying mistarif, but he says by an essay, you don't say mistarif by an essay. I don't remember the surah, that's why he said why, or else it's just, we never find it. I don't know, I don't remember that the surah.
Even though Pam Achas Kazais over Rakal Halav, why would it be over in the if you have you don't have, that's right, because he argued that if you have a Chatzi Kazayas later, even though they're not existence at the same time.
Right, he said you're mitzvah. So it's like Mila, he brought us thing, remember he argued with the Shagasari, it could be it is mitzvah. So he's saying it could be for the lav is mitzvah, but for some reason by Tashbisu, by an essay you don't say it's mitzvah. I don't remember if he's what the surah was or stam. Maybe we never find the surah.
Or the you need the existence of the essay to create the chiyuv of the essay. I mean, the fact is that without a kazayis, we have no chiyuv of the essay, because its tashbisu is to get rid of it. If you hold the tashbisu is getting rid of the essay now, not preventing in that. In other words, if you hold tashbisu is preventing the existence of a kazayas, then you could apply it. But if you hold that you need a kazayas to be gurm the essay, then you don't have the kazayas.
Yeah. So where do you start? Maybe if it's mistarf, then you do have the. How do you know where it begins? What was his start? He says it says over here mitzvah tes sham. Where would mitzvah tes sham be? Mitzvah tes os beis, I guess. Mitzvah.
That's the mitzvah of Tashbisu.
Tashbisu, yeah, but so let me see that we could see if I don't remember. Unless Tommy's making a little sound. Maybe he's saying like you, but I don't know how you know where you start. Mitzvah tes os beis. He says it's not shatzir. I'm reading where he says it, but he doesn't say where it's where.
Where it's in no space, he said?
Yeah, in mitzvah test, it's in those pages. I see where he's saying, but he just says it's not.
What's the paragraph you say?
It starts with the words venera.
Okay.
If he doesn't say the same, let's just say it. I'm looking before. If he said it before.
He just says there's no serif. That's all.
Yeah, he doesn't say why.
But you see the way he says about kan in a mitzvah al hashbas is called b'chatzi shir. You need. It seems like that's what I'm saying, that you need the whole shir.
The mitzvah. Yeah, but he doesn't say why.
He doesn't say no. I mean it's.
I think I see from the guy in the bottom, even though he's not going on this, but I think how he understood it. There's when Tosa says that there's a din, if you eat it, you're not mekayim tashbisu. In other words, let's say according to Reb Shimon, there's no issur to eat it, but Tosa says you're still not allowed to eat it because you're not mekayim tashbisu. So it says on the bottom there's a machlokas how to understand it. One way of understanding is that it's understood that this is not a mice of tashbisu. Eating is not even though there's no issur of the achil itself, but eating is not a mice of it's not a mice of tashbisu. But we're not dealing with isurim. We're dealing that you're not be mekayim the mitzvah of tashbisu. So then it's not shaykh. Then I hear it's not an issur, so it's not shaykh to be mitzdarif. There's when you eat a chatzi shir now, and you eat a chatzi shir later, we're not talking about isurim over here because there's nothing is usur. The only point is when you eat, you're not being mekayim tashbisa because tashbisa means you have to destroy it, and that's not called destroying it. So I hear it's not mashak to be mistar of different chatzi shirs, right? Because it's chatzi shir is usur, so you mistar of different shirim to add up to the shir. But here it's something to do with the shir. The whole point is you didn't destroy.
So if you destroy the chatzi shir,
right,
and then half hour later you destroy another chatzi shir,
so that's not sirif. It's not shaykh on such a thing. Sirif. It's not an issur to be mitzvah.
Yeah, but this isn't.
So it's not called. So just like so what are you going to say? You weren't mekayim tashbisu because you ended up having a kazayas where you weren't mekayim tashbisu. So you want to be mitzaref, but to say that you weren't mekayim tashbisu, so you can't say that because it's not a certain. You're not being mitzaref. In other words, if the pshat is you bring down a bond, the Ramban learns that since it says tashbisu and this is not tashbisu, that makes it like it was usher to do. So then I hear that you could have it sirif.
Right.
But if you only learn stam, it's a bittul in what you're doing. So then I hear that it wouldn't be.
So what you're saying is that by see, I can understand by eating that if you eat a chatzi shiur and then eat the other chatzi shiur, there's no siruf in the kiyum mitzvah because there wasn't a kiyum mitzvah because it wasn't destroyed anyways. It doesn't really tie into chatzi shiur at all. But if you destroy it, if you destroy a chatzi shiur, there's no siruf because siruf is only by Isser, it's not by by mitzvah. You can't have it siruf of a mitzvah. There's no. I mean, I'm not talking about when you ate it, because that there's no siruf from the mitzvah. But if you destroyed chatzi shiur and you destroyed another chatzi shiur, so you're basically saying you can only get siruf. You can't have siruf in the assay. The siruf only applies to Isser.
The whole Mokher of Shiur is either the pasuk Chayla or Sarah of Kozi that's the Rufi.
Right.
So maybe that's only by Isser, not by a mitzvah.
Right.
Okay, but if you learn that Tashbisa makes it an Isser, so then why can't you be?
Right.
You're saying for some reason it's only when there's a mitzvah. The mitzvah starts off on a kazayas, but I just don't know. I hear that, but I just don't know. How do we know that? I mean,
right.
Maybe if it's mistarved, then it isn't. It's how it's. Where do you start?
In other words, even though it's not existent today, it doesn't have anything to do with the actual existence of the shit. It's a fact that there's.
It's closely lists the rufe, and there will be a mitzvah.
Yeah.
But he doesn't say. He doesn't actually say.
Because his case is by eating, and the case by eating is giving is because there's no mitzvah done there. There's no mitzvah. The case he's defining is that the chatzi shiur was destroyed in a way that wasn't the kiyum of the essay.
Here he says, because I find that there's a place I found it over here in this paragraph that could be before you could say it. Because I see in the notes on the bottom, he's going on a Gemara before. 1 second. Here I see in Bays, I told you that pasuk in here that in the beginning there's a paragraph that starts with Hinei. You have that one?
Yeah.
Hinei leinin ba'yiroa ba'yamatze dasa shagasari sofsim and samachala the dafkel kazayas ovrin upachos v'kashir afila isatara eno v'chein das harbiachon like the shagasari but time of the eno chazik that's rufe b'chlei achilos pras. That's a shagasari. Im kain, he says, according to that shagasari, Hainu Musar Gam can let's say Pachos Mehashir, because it's not Chazilis Rufe, according to this, the Leka Esther Torah Klau. Mikamak on near Lavimash Gosam Lashitos, the Himitzis essay, I captured the Gavra to get rid of your Hashbis Chamas. Im kain, but Pachos Mikashir. Nehi de'enu over by Yeroah, mikamako mitzvah olav lahashbis, af pachos mikashir, kumo kol mitzvah shebeis leil b'shem achronim, the pachos mikashir, ksas mitzvah ika. As all my clokas, if you only have a half a kazayas on matzah, do you say there's an Indian chatzi shiur by matzah Also, so Ksasa Chaim say you do get a little the mitzvah. So he's saying there's tashbisa on less than a share also. But here's he only said the svara, but you see when he said there's no svara of he was going with the shagasar, there's no chazay this terufe, and there was no chatzis share, except he's saying if it's a mitzvah on the guy to do, like he says so far.
But that's not to do with chatzis. That's came that's chazay shrufi. It's the fact that the Indian of you doing that.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with chazay shrufi. That's down an Indian by a mitzvah. Chop around with as much as you can. I think it's nothing regular doing of chatzis share. But he was going before there's no chatzis share, there's no chazay l'strufi, that's why there's no, like, he was going with shagasari, so he wasn't saying a different story. Second. I don't know. So we have our own svaras on chatzis share by Tashbik, so let's see here.
There's an alien.
Okay. So let's go on. We're going to go on. What time is it?
Yeah. Let's pull this up to make sure. 9:03.
Okay, so that's just the one more paragraph. Okay. I'm Rashbat v'Sefer Zor Rakia b'Sof HaSefer Shekasav T'Chametz Pesach Lika Gam Esi Al Achilaso. If besides a lava, if you eat chametz, you're going to over an essay. The Hainu Lava Bo Mechal Essay. Bayin Sham. I guess he holds from Tashbih, so there's a Lava Mechal Essay. There's another pasuk. I don't know. The MS Shekem Avur B'Yishalmi Perikam Depsachim Halacha Dal the Mishnah the Ochlim Kol Arba the Chametz Pesach B'Chila Iga Essay Analyses Essay. So what's the essay? Ayin Sham the Mapik Lamikra, because it says the Shivas Yami Tochal all of matzos v'darshan matzos below chametz. So that's an essay that you learn out from, and that's to do with tashbisa. Nafkamina lekama dvarim, that there's an essay. The aser afilu bekalshu taloksi beyachila. It says tochal of matzos and not chametz. It doesn't say and this aser ichila. Raklinyan rishus. I'm not so sure because the dress is tochal all of matzos, and this is matzos below chametz. So b'char means matzos don't eat chametz. But it doesn't say a lashon of achila, so therefore you went. But
it doesn't say tochal of. It has the language tochal, so there's no lashon of matzos.
Yeah, but it doesn't say clearly achila b'chametz. But I hear you. Could be that's understood.
The fact is that it's also talking. Shivas Yamim is talking about rishus, so it's saying that if you want to. It's not a mitzvah to eat matzah, but if you want to eat like a bread-like substance,
you can't.
You should eat matzah and not chametz.
So that's why it's an essay.
Right, but it seems to be. But the fact you seem to be stressing the aspect directly in your rishus. Loksi ve'achila directly in your rishus. It's the fact that it's a rishus that makes it. The fact that it's a rishus and not a chiyuv seems to say that it's not that you don't necessarily need a kazayas. Isn't that what he's saying?
No, he's saying because we don't. He's saying balabatish. We don't have a lashon of achila. We only have the lashon of achila by the rishus of achila salam mitzvah. We don't have a lashon of achila by chametz, even though it's understood and don't eat chametz. But it doesn't say a lashon of achila. So if it doesn't say a lashon of achila, so you don't have a kazayas.
So you want to live with balabatish?
Yep. That's what I think he's saying.
I think he might be saying something more. You see, I think he might be saying that since it's rishus, it's not the same idea as a chiyuv, as a chiyuv mitzvah.
Okay. So I don't agree, but I want to finish paragraph. I am prima got on the pseichel lehelp shchita. I don't know what he said. The previous guy says over there. But kain aser gam kain mekoach esay shlo kederach achilaso, because it doesn't say achila. But that's Mari ben Lev Umar Shal b'shuas. Because he holds that this essay is even on less than a share. Whenever less than a share is usher, it's going to be usher shlo kederach also. They don't bring this essay from the Rishonim, or he says some Achronim brought it, right? This Tashbats, but he says other Achronim, I guess, don't bring it in halacha. But Sarachi, and why don't they bring down this essay? Okay, so what you want to say that since the lesson of Achila is by Rishus, by such a lesson of Achila.
Rishus is not a din of shear. It's a din that it's a din that you shouldn't. It's just that I'm just trying to. The fact that he said the aspect about Rishus seems to say that Rishus might be making.
Want to make a lumdus out of it. Okay. Okay.